So we will start with the question that was tested last semester, where students really cried for nothing. I don't find that question to be very tough. Process costing, August 2025. Are you able to get that question on August sitting? You should be able to identify a process question. August 2025, question number 4A. August 2025, question number 4A. So August 2025, question number 4A. Have you gotten the question? Yes, so we continue. So we are told here, great, that a chem manufacturers mixes together 3 chemicals, X, Y, and Z, in the ratios of 3:2:1. To produce 𝗖𝗙𝗙𝗘, a specialized antistatic fluid, the chemicals cost 1120, 840, and 546 for X, Y, and Z respectively. Additional information, during the month of July 2025, 12,000 liters in total were input to the mixing process. The normal process loss is 5% of input. In July 2025, there was an abnormal loss of 100 liters. The completed production was 9,500 liters. There was no opening work in progress. The closing work in progress was 100% complete with respect to materials, and the 40% complete with respect to labor and overheads. We are told number 7, the labor and the overheads cost were 57,79,200 in total for the period. Note number 8, the losses had a scrap value of how much? 800. Have we been able to read all the additional information? Or have we skipped any? We've read all of them. So required, they want us to determine the value of the closing work in progress. Prepare a mixing process account for the period showing clearly volumes and what year? Values. Last but not least, prepare the abnormal loss account. So if we get this kind of a question, especially number 1, what do you think in this case here, shall we start from? If you got this kind of a process question. Pata-potea. Start looking at the ceiling, saying that this question is very hard? No, of course, isn't it? We shall do a throughput account. To understand a process question, you must always do a throughput account. So is there somebody who is able to do this throughput account very well? Yeah, remember there is no opening stock, no opening inventory. So then our throughput account will look like this. Throughput account. Throughput account. Yeah. So then our throughput account, ladies and gentlemen, will basically have, in this case here, quantities being captured. So remember, you don't have opening work in progress. Sorry for that. So remember, we don't have opening work in progress, so it becomes very easy for us to do a throughput account. Now we are at the same level. You guys are super senior lecturers at RCM now. So this throughput account, are you able to see the input materials because you don't have opening? The input materials, how many units were put into this? Input materials, anybody who is able to see this? So we are told in note number 1 that during the month of July 2025, 12,000 liters in total were input to the mixing process. So 12,000. All right. Ladies and gentlemen, apart from that, we continue. We can see note 2. The normal process loss is what here? 5% of the input, isn't it? So we have normal loss. 5% of the input, which is 12,000, right? So then that will end up giving us what figure? 60? Wait, they're not talking to me. 60 or 600? Please use your calculators always. You should always use your calculators. 5%, just take 5 over 100 times 120. 60, 600. 5% of 12,000. 600. We go to note number 2. So note number 2, ladies and gentlemen, my great students here who haven't told their colleagues in the WhatsApp group that this is a very serious class, they need to be attending. So we are told in July 2025, there was an abnormal loss of 100. So abnormal loss, where shall we book this abnormal loss? On the left here or right? Yeah, right. Abnormal loss is here, isn't it? So we have here, you guys would have gotten everything here, really. So abnormal loss, ladies and gentlemen, we have what there? 100. Right, yes. If it was abnormal gain, it would have been on the left. On the left. Thank you so much. Ladies and gentlemen, after that, what else do we have there? After that, they're giving us information. In note number 4, the completed production was 9,500. So actual production, 9,500. Call it actual output. So actual output, 9,500. Have they given me any other thing really? If we continue reading, my very good students, what else do we have there? There was no opening work in progress. Hooray! A question that does not have opening work in progress is a good question. I'll get all the marks. The closing work in progress was 100% complete. Those percentage of completion, I'll be able to capture them when I'm doing statement of equivalent units, not here. Labor overheads, that is costing, valuation, losses at a scrap value. So it means, ladies and gentlemen, that I should be able to go and do balancing of this account. When I do balancing of this account, then I'll be able to get my closing work in progress. I know it cannot be here, because here it will be opening. Yeah, so please go ahead and do this balancing figure. So meaning that this side will be heavier. So meaning that both sides 12,000. So 12,000 minus this, minus this, minus this gives me what? Closing work in progress. I'm being given 1,800. Thank you so much. 1,800. So if I did not have this animal called the closing work in progress, I would have straight away gone ahead to draw the process account. But now I have this bad animal called the closing work in progress, which necessitates, construction of a statement of equivalent units. These guys, where they are drawing their throughput account, I'm so sure they must have forgotten the approach, because statement of equivalent units will come here. Isn't it? They must have forgotten. So basically, we extend this. We extend this totally. So we extend this in terms of the cost items given. So what cost items are they giving us in this question? Are you able to see costs? There are only two. We have material costs, and there are only two. Material cost and what we call conversion cost. How have I known that it's conversion cost? Because these people have done me a favor. They have consolidated labor and what here somebody overheads. Remember, labor and overheads, both of them are combined and called cost of converting raw materials. So conversion cost basically is labor and overheads. So whenever they combine the two, then they have made our work easier. And remember, for each of these items, what are we doing? We are getting percentages versus equivalent units here. Equivalent units. So percentage versus equivalent units, like that. This line ought to have been here. So material cost and the conversion cost. Material cost and the conversion cost. So remember, in the statement of equivalent units, these are the equivalent unit statement. You write the cost components always, Always. You write the cost components. And then this table, when I took my students, one of my best students here, her book, I realized that you guys were doing these things separately. Throughput account with statement of equivalent is supposed to take like a whole page. It's one. Don't do this like disjointly. No. No. This is supposed to be on the left side, and then now on the right. You continue with that. So we start with the normal loss. Normal loss, no costs at all. Normal loss, nothing here. Nothing, nothing, nothing. So is that okay? Normal loss, nothing, isn't it? I don't know whether the online guys are able to follow me. The online guys, are they able to follow what we are doing? All right. No, labor, remember here, ladies and gentlemen, labor, what do we have about labor? What do we have about labor? So labor, they have told us here, you can see note number 6. The closing work in progress was 100% complete with respect to materials as a different cost, and 40% complete with respect to labor and overheads. So they are combining labor and overheads. And whenever you see them combining labor and overheads, instead of you having one column, capture labor and what here somebody overheads, you'd rather call the two what here somebody conversion. You'd rather call the two conversion. Now we go, ladies and gentlemen, to abnormal loss. Abnormal loss has been given. Now remember, in this question, they have not told us about the degrees of completion of abnormal loss. They haven't told us. So in that case here, what shall we do? Whenever they are silent, there are two ways. It is either you assume that These abnormal loss, you value them to the same degree with the closing what here? Work in progress, but the very best way. Abnormal loss, not unless you're given degrees of completion, you shall always assume 100%. Because we had finished the entire process, only that these goods never turned out to be good for us. So unless you are given, the very best assumption for abnormal loss is that in everything applied, we had finished abnormal loss units up to 100% in every application of expense. So in this case here, abnormal loss, these one here material should be 100% and conversion cost should be what here, somebody? 100%. So then abnormal loss, 100% of 100 gives me what here, somebody? 100, isn't it? And then 100% of this 100 gives me what here? 100 like that. And then, of course, the actual output, nobody will ever tell you. It is you to know that actual output is always what here, somebody? As regards to everything, actual output is always 100%. So this gives us 9,500. Closing work in progress, they have told us it is 100% for materials, but conversion cost is what percentage? 40%. Conversion cost is 40%. So what is 100% of 1,800? 1,800. So this is 1,800. How about 40% of 1,800? 720, isn't it? 720. Thank you so much. And we are through. So now come here and give us our total equivalent units. Total equivalent units. Add them up. Total equivalent units. So for materials, how many equivalent units do we have for materials? So you add these ones, eh? Give me a figure. 11,400. 11,400. How about total equivalent units for conversion cost? Maureen gives me a figure of 10,320. Is that okay? 10,320. Thank you so much. 10,320. After total equivalent units, give us total cost. The only total cost these guys could see very well in the exam was total conversion cost. Total conversion cost, that one, nobody was confusing. Out of the papers we were marking, nobody was confusing the total cost, total labor cost. It was given here in note number 7. Labor and overheads cost were 57.79. What here, somebody? That one everybody was able to get. That one everybody was able to get. 57.79, 200. That one everybody was able to get. What they could not get, all of them, this material cost. Most of the students whose papers were marking were not able to get this material cost. But you guys, given that now, here we are not in an exam situation, I'm 100% sure that you can easily give me that figure. The materials will cost us how much? The materials will cost us how much? How I wish I had money, but I have cash money. So meaning that's only online, I mean, physical students who can get my present today. Cash money I have. Because you see, you guys are used to situations where we give you like the total material cost is this much. But you remember, you and ourselves, we are at a tug of war. And we are here on this other side endeavoring to ensure that you guys, we pull you, we not only pull you, but you fail, isn't it? You fall or fail. And then, of course, you guys are on their side saying, hey, Mwalimu, we have to prove you wrong, that you are very, very bra. Students who are able to get these very, very well, they looked at that STEM information. They looked at the STEM information here. Chemical manufacturers mixes together 3 chemicals, X, Y, and Z, in the ratio of 3:2:1. And then remember, in total, they mixed 11, they mixed how many? 12,000. They mixed 12,000. 3:2:1. They mixed 12,000 in total. So material, I'll just do it here. Material cost. So material cost, don't write it here because I shall continue. You know, of course, you know the procedure. I'm writing it because I'll be able to wrap, eh? So the total quantity was 12,000 mixed into three chemicals, divided into three chemicals. Which chemicals are these? They are calling the chemicals X, Y, and Z. So we have X, Y, and Z. And then the ratio there is 3:2:1. 3:2:1. So giving us what totally, are they 6 components? If you add here 3 plus 2 plus 1, that will be 6, isn't it? So in this case here, X will be 3/6. Or you simply say here 3/6, 2/6, 1/6. So we start with X. So X, it will be 12,000 times 3/6, which gives us how many? 6,000. How about Y? 2/6 of this, please talk to me. 4,000, isn't it? 4,000. Yes, Omar, I mean, I can't understand Omar. Let's be serious. Yeah, so 2/6 times 12,000, what do we have there? 4,000. How about Z? 12,000 times 1/6, 2,000. And do we know how much each kilogram is costing? Do we know how much each kilogram is costing? Yeah, they have given us cost per kilogram. Prayer time. Prayers we shall pray. Always. Always. So 5 minutes exactly. Great. Or 7. 7 is good. 7 minutes. Right. So then we have, ladies and gentlemen, our costs per unit. We have our costs per unit. So costs per unit, you can see the chemicals here now, X, Y, and Z. They cost 11.20, 8.40, 5.46. So is there somebody who is able to give me these figures? So I'm waiting for you guys to give me these figures pretty fast. So X, I'm having a ninja called 𝗖𝗙𝗙𝗘 giving me 11,172,000. 6720, eh? 1,000. How about Y? 3360,000. How about Z? 1092,000. Giving us what figure? 11,170. 11,170,000. So these are your material cost. But now remember, material cost, at least we get some reprieve from the normal loss units that we sell. We say it in the normal class. If you have material cost for equivalent units, and then you happen to be having normal loss, then you shall always deduct this figure. You credit normal loss proceeds to this account. So in this case here, then go ahead and tell me, how many normal loss units do we have here? 600. And have they given us the scrap value per unit? Are you able to see the 600? 800. So we have here 800. 800. Thank you so much. So always remember to subtract the normal loss scrap value. Always normal loss scrap value. Deduct normal loss units times the scrap value over 800. And I'll be able to share my screen here. You can see that normal loss, we sold them at 800 per unit. So then what figure shall I be able to post here as the net material cost? 10,692. Now they are not talking to me. 10,692. The net material cost is 10,692,000. Yeah, remember we have gotten our normal material cost. What maybe could be confusing to you, in our normal class, we were writing this 11,170 here, and then we say less normal loss. It is the same thing. Same thing. It is the same thing. Now, if that is the case, then come and give me cost per equivalent unit. Cost per equivalent unit. So cost per equivalent unit, you take this 10,692,000 divided by 11,400, give me a figure, if possible, to 2 decimal places. 2 decimal places. So we have here Cyprian. So 10,692,000 divided by 11,400. 937.89. All right. How about this cost per equivalent unit and a conversion cost? 577,9,200 divided by 10,320. So I'm being given a figure of what here? 560. I'm being given a figure of 560. 560 like that. Now from there, you'll be able to do the last thing, which is the statement of what here now? Equivalent units. So give us a statement of equivalent units. Not statement, but I mean valuation. Give us the valuation. So valuation. So I want you, great students of mine, here to value this abnormal loss. Abnormal loss. I wish my board was really capable of capturing everything here. So I'll be forced to just rub this. And then I'll be able to write a column here, value, valuation. So for the normal loss, just put a dash there. Abnormal loss valuation. So abnormal loss valuation, I will take in this case here 100, right? Times cost per unit here. So 100 times 937.89 plus 100, because I'm tracking the abnormal loss. I'm tracking the abnormal loss. 100 times 560. So is there somebody who is able to give us this answer? So Cheryl gives me 149 something. So I'm tracking, if it's abnormal loss, I'm tracking this way. How much value am I getting? Maureen has confirmed. 14 what here, somebody? Please talk to me. 14? 97.89. Yeah, I'm waiting for you guys to confirm abnormal loss. So abnormal loss, I can see here, I have 100 times this per unit. Per unit. Plus 100 here times this 560. Are you able to get this answer? Please, if you're able to get it so that you can move, you know, we have 2-3 questions to answer. It's only one student who is getting it. You see, like you take your calculator, we know cost per unit is 937.89. And the abnormal loss, you can see here. And the equivalent units, 100 times cost per equivalent unit, plus 100 times this 560. And then you confirm whether you're able to get this 1497.89. So from there now we go to the next one, which is actual output valuation. So actual output valuation, what do we have there? So actual output, I can see here, and the equivalent units, 9,500 times 937.89 plus under actual output, 9,500 times 560. What answer do we have there, ladies and gentlemen? Cecilia already has gotten a figure. 14, 229, 955. The online ninjas, are they getting the same? 14, 229, 955. Yes. Yes. Then we come and value the very last one now. The closing work in progress. So you value the closing work in progress. So closing work in progress, what do we have here? 1,800 times what here, somebody? 937.89. plus 720 times 560. Anybody who could be having that answer? 20? 2091? 402. Thank you so much. Thank you so much. So of course, if you want to value the normal loss very well at this juncture, you know the normal loss will automatically be 600 times, in this case here, the scrap value, if you just want to put it there. But you can always do this in the process account, yes. So now we have everything. Now let's get ahead and draw our process account. Let's draw our process account. Now we have everything. So process account. Yeah. So in the process account, do you still remember our column titles? They must have forgotten them. What are our column titles? Description, units, cost per unit, and then what lastly? Value, yes. Thank you so much for reading. So we start with input material here. We start with input material. So input material, these ninjas, are they able to see the input materials really? The quantity, we start with the quantity. No, first of all, I'll give you time to draw, eh? Input materials, and we shall overcome. Today you seem to have hated this thing. We shall overcome. Everything will be all right. You will pass your exams. That one, trust you, man. So input materials, is there somebody who can remember that they were 12,000? And what was the total cost for these input materials? 11,172. Yeah, 12K units. And then we had gotten the total cost before we subtracted the normal loss. We got 11,172,000. I would want a confirmation from you that you are able to follow up to here. They have not yet finished drawing, but we shall overcome. We shall overcome. I'm not afraid at all. I'm not afraid at all. Yes, at least they have finished. Then come here. Here, ladies and gentlemen, remember we have the normal loss. Normal loss, which was how many units here, somebody? 600, and each was being valued at 800, which gave us 480,000. Yeah. And that is why normally we net off. That is why we normally take this minus that 480,000. Because they're on the opposite sides there. I've wrapped my throughput account. After normal loss, what do we have next year? Abnormal loss, isn't it? So abnormal loss, how many units were they? 100. And what was the total value? We have it here in the valuation. 149. 79. 79. Thank you so much. After abnormal loss, what else do we have? Actual output, isn't it? So actual output 9,500. Yeah, we sort of values this big figure. 14, 22, 99, 55, isn't it? 55. And then you have given me this thing of what here, somebody? Closing work in progress. How many units? 1,800. Isn't it? Yeah. Given what figure? 2091,402, like that. Can somebody in this case here, as others copy? Can somebody in this case here go ahead to give me this total here, please? Give me this total. So you're adding 480,000, 149 something. So is there somebody who is able to give me that total? $16. That difference is too big. That difference is too big. Where do we go wrong? That difference is too big. I know. I mean, this is not 11. We have not put here conversion cost. Sorry for that. We have the conversion. Do you remember the conversion cost? The labor and what here, somebody? Labor and overheads, right? Yeah. How could I forget that? What was the figure here for labor and overheads? 57, 79, 200. 57, 79, 200. 57, 79, 200. So then could you kindly give me the sum there? It's supposed to be balanced, and if there is a difference because of rounding off errors, it should not be that big. So what is the figure first of all here on the debit side? The credit side, I'm being told it's 16, 951, 146, 146, 146. And then what do we have here? Somebody 16. 951, what here? 200. So now, according to your take, is this mathematics balancing? Yes or no? Is it balancing? Yes or no? The difference is negligible, isn't it? Out of 16 million, the difference is negligible. Actually, we don't show our examiner that we are that. I mean, if I'm the one, I'll come and write this as what here, somebody? 200, isn't it? The bigger one. 200. Yeah, the difference is very, very small. And what brought about that difference? Remember, you're supposed to be rounding off our values like to 2 decimal place. 2 decimal place, which you never did, isn't it? Which you never did. So that is what you are required to do in that question. Any student who did this question this way was able to get most of the marks. And then, of course, we have the third part where they want us to give them an abnormal loss account. So once you guys are ready, let me know. The ninja who is inboxing me here that maybe it's not balancing. So do you think that the difference is because of an error? No, that difference is very, very small. It's very, very small. So can we go to the next question, which wants us to do an abnormal loss account? There's there's a student who is asking, this question iko topic gani? They may back 4 days or 1 week to the exam. But God is gracious enough. So long as you start reading when? Today, you will still pass. You will still pass. So abnormal loss account. And then now for the ATD students, be having a marathon class. I don't know whether it's tomorrow or which day, just to tackle your past paper questions, ATD. ATD students, because your past paper questions are multiple choice. I normally do 8 hours of marathon. So we'll have to agree, when do you want us to do this class? To do this class for the ATD guys, we have to agree. If you're on leave, you can. If you're not on leave, you can tell me, Mwalimu, do it on Monday, Tuesday. I will be okay. So abnormal loss account is the easiest account. So we have here description, units, cost per unit value. We have description, units, cost per unit, and then what year? Value. We say here from process account. So please, from the process account, you are able to see that we credited abnormal loss. Now here we are debiting, isn't it? How many units abnormal loss? 100, right? Are you able to remember the total value from the process account that I've just rubbed here? 149,789. And then, of course, in this case here, because you'll be allowed to sell them, they're defective, but you shall sell them. You scrap them to the bank. Yeah, scrap to the bank. There are 100, and the scrapped ones, you are selling them at how much? At 800. At 800, yes. So then 100 times 800, that gives me what here, somebody? 8,000 or 80,000. 80,000. So the difference automatically will go to the P and the L as a loss. It will be a loss. So I credit this account, I debit P and L. So the loss will be how much? You only look at the values. The values. So the balancing figure, this side, will be 149,789. 149,789. So like that. So in this case, you take this minus this. What are we able to get? What are we able to get, my good students? Yeah, may Almighty make it easy. It shall be easy. It shall be easy. Those are very good prayers. Valid prayers. Valid prayers. Valid prayers. But now the problem is that you're not giving me, you don't want us to do many questions today. 69,789. Is that okay? Who are my physical students today? Do you guys have some lunch today? Already have said, eh? All right. And then, of course, you can see there is a place where they told us to give them value of closing work in progress. So when they tell you in Roman 3 to give value of closing work in progress, and it happens that you have done it up there, shall you tell the examiner to refer above? I'll also tell you to refer back to the same paper. You come back to this class. So when they tell you to value closing work in progress, you simply go and copy that working. It is here, isn't it? Yeah, you simply copy it. Yeah, because that is some of the problem we're getting with students. They were told to value closing work in progress, and then they were telling examiner as above, as where? No. 800, 800. Let me just show you where 800 is coming from. Let me just show you where 800 is coming from. It is a scrap value per unit. It is a scrap value per unit. It is the scrap value per unit, which was given in the question. So you can see in this case here we have here the losses are the scrap value of 800 per unit. It's post. Not 8, yes. The loss are the scrap value of 800 per unit. So I hope that is okay. I hope you guys, by Mwalimu doing this question, you've been able to get some little exposure out of it. I hope should they bring it or bring something closer to that, you will not come out of this with nothing. Then there is a student who wants us to do April 2024 question number 4B. Please write that one. But I'm not doing it because now we have to agree. Do I do my questions or do I do your questions? We have to agree. Who is doing the prediction, or you guys don't want? Let me do my questions. But you can do it as a homework yourselves. If you're not able to do, I have all these answers. I have all these answers that I'll be able to provide. Question number 4B. Yeah, April 2024, question number 4B, and that shall be done tonight. Yeah. So this semester, of course, they can't bring what Mwalimu has just done. This was just to ensure that you remember a few things here and there. You could very easily get a funny question like this one. The one of 𝗖𝗙𝗙𝗘𝗙 Limited. 𝗖𝗙𝗙𝗘𝗙 Limited. Question number 5C. August 2024. Question number 5C. So I'll only do 3 questions from this process account, and then I'll be finished with this topic. And then I go to another topic. Which other topic would you want Mwalimu to concentrate in? I'm the one who knows, don't worry. ABC. So are we there? August 2024, question number 5C. August 2024, question number 5C. We are told that the 𝗖𝗙𝗙𝗘 Limited manufactures a product branded the Gemline. The company operates several manufacturing processes. In the process 1, joint products, gem and lime, are produced in the ratio of 5:3 by volume from the raw material input. The following information relates to the process 1 for the first week of the month of July 2024. So raw materials input 60,000 kilograms, abnormal gain 1,000. Other costs incurred up to the split off point. Direct labor, direct expenses, we have production overheads of 110% of direct labor cost. Additional information, normal loss in the process 1 is 5% of the raw material input, which is expected. Losses have a realizable value of 50 per kilogram. The company holds no work in progress. 3, the joint costs are apportioned to the joint products using the physical volume, measure, basis, and split off, of which you can see they are here 5:3. So prepare process 1 account for the first week of the month of July 2024, in which both the output volume and values for each of the joint products are shown separately. It's a process account, throughput account is the key. Throughput account is the king. Start with throughput account. So I'll give you 5 minutes. You do a throughput account, not 5 minutes for throughput. No, maybe 5 seconds. Accounting for labor, okay? I'll do that one. Maybe God is using you. Just the throughput. And once you finish, you say, yes. The Gen Z way. Dell, we are doing throughput account Dell. Now we are no longer giving Mwalimu the topics. We are doing throughput account. Throughput account is what we are doing. Where you simply say input because there's no work in progress. Anybody who has finished? Can I do it? Felista, very good. Felicitas. Imagine this thing is just about trying. You try, even if you don't get it, so what? Is there anybody who can beat you in this adult class? Nobody. All right. So let me do it now, right? Let me do it. So we start with throughput account. So the throughput account, ladies and gentlemen, that we have here, we can see